Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Stable Connections, the podcast. Today's episode is joined by Cristóbal Scarpati, and he talks to us about some of his horse secrets, how he stays grateful, feelings of freedom, and a bit about his journey with horses. Hope you enjoy.
Everything which is good in my life came with horses. For that reason, I am very totally grateful with them, and I believe that my life could be super different without horses. So if you ask me why I try to be better, I try to improve my ways, I try to understand every day a little bit more about how they feel, how they learn, how they like to live their lives, is because I am just living the dream of my childhood, and it's time to me to give back everything what they gave me. Then that's what I am trying to do every day.
So I know that your dad was clinicking a bit and doing things with horses, correct?
Yes.
So did you travel with him at a young age?
I travel a lot with him. We are partners in this adventure, and until now we still do so much things together in Argentina and in the countries around Argentina. And if this travel were shorter, he could come, but I took so much time far away from home just because I wanted, after pandemic, to have a long time traveling with my family. Then he couldn't come for that reason. And he's not independent. He can't come and stay a couple of weeks and come back by himself. It's not because he's not capable, it's because he doesn't enjoy to do the whole thing by himself. I understand how he feels when he's alone. Then because I am also very dependent of my kids and my wife, and he's still a great horseman. I believe that he's maybe one of the most incredible horsemen ever in the last 2 centuries. He understood very well the nature of the horse. He was one of the first, at least in South America, to take the post to say, okay, there's another way, let's try this, and you will see how wonderful horses are after this kind of treatment. Because in South America and like in the rest of the world, most of the rest of the world, horses will not be understood in the way that they are. We took them as machines and we use them so much to fight wars, to work hard.
To do things for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, always from ancient times, there were people who loved them and who take care of them. But we are lucky because my dad was a kind of grandson, putative grandson of an Indian in our lands, a native of our lands called Cristóbal, like me. I am Cristóbal for him.
Are you named after him?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
To honor him after because he passed away before I born, my father gave me his name because this person was his biggest inspiration, influence, yes. Then this person, Don Cristóbal, used to tell him everything about horses. He was very old to the moment that my father met him, but he told him a lot about how they treat horses, what was their philosophy, and it coincides pretty much with my natural way to understand the universe. I think in California, this is the people who I have the chance to meet. We are more or less general agreement about how we should treat the nature. Then these old cultures were very connected with the nature.
I know.
So they were respectful even with the animals that they needed to eat to survive. So I have that philosophy, but it's not because my father told me about this, it's because I feel that with or without that information I would be either way like this, because I don't talk so much with my kids about this because they are very kids, but I can see how natural they are and how they take care of everything naturally. One of them is a little bit destructive, but at the end I used to be like him when I was in the same age. I like to experiment how things get broken or explode or get burned. I was fascinated for fire and everything, like the power of destruction. So he's like me in that moment, but at the same time he's very, very sensitive, extremely sensitive, as I am and as I was maybe more in the childhood, and I am trying to keep that in my everyday way to be. And it works because I can feel the presence of animals, humans, horses, plants. I can feel them. I am connected with that. I don't want to, and I am not distracted of how important is this right now in front of us, a plant. When you get connected with everything around you right there, you can be more respectful because you're more conscious about how take care of everything what can need you. Then when I talk about my feelings here, why I feel so happy in California, is because I found that here the people that surrounds me every day is teaching me something. I was a good experience today with somebody who told me, I don't work anymore, my job is my horse. I spend every day 5-6 hours a day with him. And that made me so hopeful about what I would do when I was older. I want to spend all day long with my kids and my animals. Not my kids. At that time, I am hopeful to have the chance to be a grandpa. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be father. Now I am father. I want to be a grandpa. It's something that I want to do. I am taking care of myself, thinking in that. I am trying to keep myself healthy, to be in good conditions to play with my grandsons or granddaughters. It's one of my dreams. And I think I am not so far. My daughter, Abril, is 20 years old, is living, sharing house with her boyfriend. Then I am very hopeful about that they soon will have a kid.
Yeah.
And what makes me happy is that both she and her boyfriend, both are artists. One is a musician, he's a musician, and she is a drawer. They're very creative, so I want to see what comes from them. It's an experiment.
Isn't it always?
Yes, it's always, but in the way that I want it, because I try to don't make expectations that can create not very good vibes. Like I will be expecting that you are like I want you, but it's not my feeling. I just wanted to my daughter, I think like everybody does, every father and mother in the world, we want them happy. So I found that she being so special with the art, I found that if she is with something like Juli, his boyfriend, she will be more
expressive in her art.
Yes, and she will be like, when you can understand the passion of your partner, it's very important. So sometimes what makes me sad sometimes when I see people like I really, really like, and they are in relationships, and I see them 2 years later and they say, no, we break, we finished. Oh, it's like, okay, it must be like that, and it's okay, but we need to take more time to understand what we need, more connected with ourselves. So then when you know what you want, the horse that you need will come to you, the person that you need will come to you. When you are okay with yourself, everything comes in the way that you need.
Yeah.
So I had that experience. I got married so young because I believed that she was the one. And she thought the same. And at the end, we got separated, and we have our daughter, and we are happy because she's a great person, and we could, even with all the problems and the ignorance that we had at that time, she was fine. And we put so much love because with the ignorance was so big, but the love was bigger, then the result was at the end positive. but I didn't want it to create the same situation for my second family. So I took time. I think I chose better because not because she's a better person than the other one. It's because I knew it better what I need. Then this is a recommendation for the listeners. Try to connect with yourself by meditation, by breathing, being in the nature, in the park, wherever you are. Try to ask yourself what I need, what can I do to get it. And normally you get whatever you need if you deserve that. And to deserve that, you need to get ready, or at least prepare to understand what God or universe is offering to you. Then to do that, my recommendation, of course I do through horses and people and traveling and living, but I recommend so much self-development. Is reading book, thinking beautiful things, keeping your brain occupied in good things, good ideas, positive, optimistic, because that's is if you want to attract good things for your life, you should be positive for the universe. If you are thinking or you are afraid or scared or just holding things, when I say I try every day to be a better person, not because the world needs me, it's because I want to live better my life, my time, and that the consequence of that will be that the everything that I touch in my way, I will not break anything. I will not do it because I am so much ignorant. So we learn about life every day. I said Saturday to the public in the demo, it's very common to hear that we never finish to learn about horses. And I found that we never learn about how to live. We are always learning. We never stop learning. And if you feel that you stop learning, it's because you need to learn to understand that you never will stop learning.
Mm-hmm. There's always more to learn, or a different way, or
Of course.
Yeah.
When you forget who you are, you become something for the other person. Something. It means that you are something. Just a thing. Of course, love is always going up and down. And when it's going up and down, it's because there's so much to learn about that person, about so many things. So when you are open, in my case, I needed a lot of help to understand many things. My father is one of my teachers. One of my cousins is a great teacher. He's always helping me to think about things that I am not open. I just didn't realize that things are important. So he comes, do you think about this? No. Think about this.
Now think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
Then self-development means better connection with myself before to come out. If you stay in that mode for a long time and you never find the person, the place, and you keep saying, no, I am in self-development, development. It's because you got in the cycle, the kind of you will not come out easily from that, because when you get used to or accustomed to be alone and you start to feel comfortable with that, which is normal and it's okay. If you really want that, it's okay. Nobody can judge that. Not you, not me, not the Pope. Nobody in the world can judge what you are doing with your life. But I was open to ask help. I said to my father, I said to my wife, I said to my cousin, help me to understand better, because all of them are very smart to me, and I like the way that they can transmit me what they know. I found that I am always asking much more than ever. Like during I know more, I ask more. And I am always trying to everything what I know so much how to train a horse, but I am always aware, paying attention.
Yeah, present.
About how others does the same thing. Then I find sometimes very good details that makes me better as a trainer. I used to have the thought, maybe my ego was bigger before. He used to tell me, you don't need anything else. You know how to do it. And now I am overall, after this pandemic, that I have a lot of time to think so much and to spend so much time alone and in my house. I was thinking about what I was doing was so many things just because the, how do you say, inertia? Inertia? When something just go.
Yeah, when you just you just keep doing it just to do it.
And some other things, I was doing some things without real intention to do it, like because other commitments with family or with people, clients. Then I realized that, okay, I want to live just what I want. I want to be with the people that I really want to be. I want to eat what the food that I really want to eat, and I want to do what I really want to do. And I realized that, to me, in my case, not 100% possible without other consequences. But we should assume those consequences and live that kind of, that way. And that's what I am doing now, thinking about so much things that I want to do. You know, I am 45 now, and I don't feel old at all, but I feel that there is so much things to live in the next 10 years. I'm not anxious, I'm not nervous about it. It's just I spent my whole life without any plan. I live my life like getting surprised so much for life. And I plan a little bit, you know, to the next month, next 2 months, some things to the next year. But mostly every day I just wake up and I ask myself which kind of day we will have today. And what I really, really like is try to pay attention in my family, in my animals, and of course in my commitments, because this is a game where we, in my case, is the game that we play in contact with others that are playing the same game. We are playing the game of create culture about how to treat horses. In my case, especially in my case and with my wife and my father, I think it's a familiar thing that we are trying to use all the knowledge that we have during we were training horses and making clinics, teaching people. We had the chance to make some kind of miracles with the life of others, people who came just to learn about horses, and they have a life-changing experience. That happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 30, 100 times, and I said, why not? Why not to use all this experience and knowledge to help people more than horses? Because horses are already okay with themselves. But if we help people to understand better, because we feel that we understand the needs of the horses, because we understand our needs, and the thing that we need, you and me, or the rest of the universe, is love, like the mother of everything in the world that we should get. And from love you will take respect, understanding, empathize. There's so many more, but I don't remember how to say them in English. But all the good things will come from love. Of course, I like your computer, I like your mic, I like my house, I like my truck. We live in a material world, and I like the material world. I enjoy it so much. I like that arena, everything here around. Then I'm not telling that we don't need anything more than love, but love is very important, because you can have everything, whatever you can imagine in the material world, but without love and without the feeling that your existence deserve what you need to survive, it's so sad when you can't feel that. And sometimes people get confused about that. They put so much attention in activities and in material things than at the end will not give you anything back more than more activity and more money, more activity, more money. And it's okay if you reserve the time and the space to find yourself at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day and say to yourself, I am living the life that I want. And in the life that we want, Aristotle, I don't know how, it's a philosopher.
Aristotle. I think
Aristotle,
is how you say
yes. Aristotle, he used to say that we are social beings. I can't do this without you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Maybe I can, but I will not do it.
It wouldn't be as enjoyable to do it by yourself.
Exactly. So this podcast is good because you are talking in front of me, and so I have somebody to tell my story. And our story, like all the stories that you tell to the world through your computer and your microphone and in the web, it's very useful to share about life. I found that all the social media, there's so much junk in it, but there's so much
inspiration.
Mm-hmm. So we should be enough smart to discriminate what is junk and what is useful or is inspirational. We live in a wonderful world, and I really, really believe that. And every time I open my eyes, I can see the beauty around. And maybe we are so much blessed, and other people who can be there hearing this will say, of course, they are in the countryside with horses under the sun, and I need to be here working or in this little place. But the sun is there for everybody all the time. Mm-hmm. Everything in the world is for everybody. It's public. You can't privatize the sun or the wind or the ocean or the beaches. There is places where this happen. You go there and this is private property. Yeah. You can't. Then I don't mind. Let's find another place. I found that very early in my life that the happiness is in simple, very achievable things. And I can see it today with my kids. They are waiting for me just to have fun together. If you take a piece of paper and a pencil, and you play to